Tonight, the manhunt is on for Fat Leonard, the man accused of masterminding one of the biggest public corruption scandals in U.S. military history.
Leonard Francis was going to face sentencing in a few weeks, but officials say he cut off his GPS monitor Sunday and disappeared. CBS 8's Richard Allen tracked down a podcaster who had major access to Fat Leonard to dive deeper into the case and the search.
Well, that's right. Francis faces up to 25 years behind bars during his sentencing here on September 22nd. But whether that court appearance will actually take place is anyone's guess, as Francis remains on the run.
I guess I was shocked. I didn't expect him to sever his anklet bracelet and go on the lam.
Journalist and podcaster Tom Wright has had access to Leonard Francis, a.k.a. Fat Leonard, for his large size, unlike anyone else.
Every other day I would talk to him. I was here in Singapore and he was under house arrest. So I got to know him, and he is a risk taker.
Talking to Francis for over 20 hours for a 9-part podcast series that's now being developed for television.
Everybody was in my pocket. I had them in my palm. I was just rolling them around.
The uber-wealthy Malaysian defense contractor was the mastermind behind a complex bribery scheme in which Francis supplied naval officials with travel, lavish gifts, and prostitutes in exchange for classified information, which Francis used to overbill the U.S. government by at least $35 million. Battling cancer, Francis had been under house arrest in San Diego since 2018 as he awaited sentencing.
He'd done jail as a young man in an armed robbery. So this kind of behavior from him just days away from sentencing is not that unexpected.
Taking the brazen step of cutting off his GPS monitoring device over the weekend and fleeing in what authorities say appears to be a well-planned operation. In fact, neighbors report seeing U-Hauls coming in and out of the home in the days leading up to his escape.
The movers were able to come in, move everything out. Only his severed ankle bracelet was left in the house.
Another mystery at this point, the whereabouts of 3 of his kids, who Wright says had been staying with him under house arrest.
That's another interesting question, because if he's on the run with 3 teenage children, that's going to change the equation for him. And of course, if he's got terminal kidney cancer, that also makes things very difficult.
U.S. Marshals say that law enforcement alerts to be on the lookout for Francis have been widely issued, including throughout Mexico as well as Malaysia.
I mean, he would be a tough guy to go incognito just because of his health issues and his health in general. He'd be hard. So we think he definitely planned this out, and we'll follow every lead that we get.
And for more information on submitting a tip anonymously to the U.S. Marshals, just go to CBS8.com, click on the online version of this story.